Okay guys, ito naman tayo sa warrantless arrest, no? So sa warrantless arrest, dalawa na lang ang itatackle natin dito, no? Yung hot pursuit at saka in flagrante delicto arrest kasi dito naman talaga lalabas yung tanong sa bar. In relation to search, incidental to lawful arrest, no? So ganyan na, para mas mahirap na yung expectation natin sa bar exam question. Wag lang natin i-limit yung sarili natin sa in flagrante. I-connect na rin po natin yan sa warrantless searches. Specifically, Section 13, Rule 126, search incidental to a lawful arrest. Kasi napakadali naman ang tanong sa inyo pag may warrant of arrest, di ba? Siyempre, magtatanong kayo ng bar exam question yan. Walang warrant of arrest, wala ding search warrant. Tapos nagkaroon ng search, nagkaroon ng arrest. Okay. Anyway, alam naman natin, no? Tinakal ko na dito. Ng previous video natin, na pag sinabi mong search incidental to a lawful arrest, the arrest must precede the search. So the arrest must be the first thing that must happen. Is the first thing that must happen, and then there will be search afterwards. As opposed po sa stop and frisk na search muna tapos aresto. Ito aresto muna tapos arrest. Okay. Let's go to in flagrante delicto. I think na-discuss ko na rin to sa ano no sa criminal procedure. Let's just reiterate, baka nakalimutan nyo na. So there are two elements for in flagrante delicto arrest, no? There must be an overt act indicating that the person to be arrested has committed, actually committing, attempting to commit that crime. Basically, ang pinaka-important dyan, hindi naman yung has actually committing, attempting to commit it. Ang important dyan, overt act, indicating that, okay? Is he doing something that indicates the commission of a crime? Basically, ganun lang yan. And the next is, in his presence. This overt act indicating the commission of the crime was done in his presence. Hayaan na natin yung within the view. Kasi pag sinabi mong in his presence, it covers all senses. Touch, smell, sight, hearing. Taste. Kulang pa. Lagyan ko nga ng taste. Ang nalasahan niya. No? O, di ba? Tama, taste. Kasi sabihin natin, nalasahan, shabu pala. Di ba? Something like that. No? Okay. So, tandaan nyo, dalawa lang ang kailangan nyo matandaan dyan. Overt act indicating at saka in his presence. Okay? Kung hindi nyo maalala sa Rule 113 Section 5, letter A, ang suggestion ko sa inyo, go to the elements. What case law dictates that the following are the elements for a valid in flagrante delicto arrest? Blah, blah, blah. Okay? Sige. Application of in flagrante delicto arrest to actual cases. Ang gusto kong mabasa dito, ito. Hayaan na natin tong A and B. Ito gusto kong makita. Ito gusto kong i-point out sa inyo. The time of the arrest was 11:30 p.m. The police officer was 6 to 10 meters away when he saw petitioner holding a plastic sachet. Gabi, no, malamang wala naman nagbebenta ng sabon ng umaga, no? Gabi yan normally kasi tago, no, gabi. Pero tingnan nyo ha, malapit po yan eh. 6 to 10 meters. Malapit lang yan. 'Di ba? Kasi 100 meters isang kanto. 'Di ba? Yung 10 meters, ilan di pa lang yan? 6 meters. No? Malapit yan, no? 11:30 p.m. ng gabi, 10 sabihin natin 6 meters away. Tapos nakita ng pulis na nakahawak sa may hawak na plastic na siya yung aarestuhin niyang tao. Kaya lang, he was looking from a tinted windshield of a van. So basically, malapit po yung van doon sa transaction na nangyari. 6 meters. Gabi, kaya lang tinted yung van. So, ang sabi ng court, di ba? There was no overt act. And the arrest is invalid because the petitioner did not perform an overt act within the, wag palang plain view. Within the view. Pag sinabi mo kasi plain view, baka malito pa kayo sa plain view doctrine. Did not perform an act within the view of PO3 Martinez indicating that he has just committed a crime. Basically, wala po yung dalawang elements. Ang para nga po sa akin, no, para sa akin, mas maganda, ito yung first element eh, yung presence. Para di nyo makakalimutan. In his presence, may overt act pang ginagawa yung tao na to indicating the commission of the crime. In this case, we cannot say that he viewed the alleged commission of the crime. The supposed commission of the crime, di ba? He was not viewing the environment properly. He did not view the environment properly because He was behind a tinted windshield and it was in the middle of the night. It happened during the middle of the night, 11:30 ng gabi. Di ba? Sabihin natin, i-flip natin ng konti at gawin natin 11:30 ng umaga. Can we say na mayroong in flagrante delicto arrest? I would say yes. Kasi saan po nagkaroon ng missing piece dito? Doon sa within the view. Di ba? Did not perform an act in the presence of or within the view of P.O. Martinez indicating that he, meaning Villasana, has just committed a crime. Di ba? Normally po, no, kasi para siyang magkakambal sila. Kapag walang within the view, how can you see an overt act in the first place? At if you saw it, it was in your presence, it was within your view. Malamang sa malamang, you saw that overt act indicating the commission of the crime. Yun naman po sa no? Ano pangalan ng kaso na to? Yung sa Cogaed, if you remember yung question, yung example natin previously, ang nangyari doon, tinuro lang nung driver ng jeepney na, may dala-dalang drugs yung dalawa sa likod. Tapos yung pulis naman, bigla pumunta sa likod, binuksan yung bag nung ni Cogaed at saka nung katropa niya. Where was the overt act in this case? Yung pala. Well, doon muna tayo. Let's apply this methodically. Within the view or in the presence of the police officers. Ito mga si Cogaed, was he committing? At saka yung friend niya, were they committing a crime? Di ba? Did they perform an overt act? Yung pala, indicating that they committed a crime. Wala, di ba? So wala po yung parehong elements. Okay? Walang within the view, tapos, dahil walang within the view, walang in his presence, wala ting overt act that Cogaed and his friend committed, indicating that they actually possessed dangerous drugs. You get the point. Let's go to hot pursuit. Sa hot pursuit po, ulitin natin, may tatlong elements dyan. Ang pinaka-important dito, yung first at saka yung third. Why? Kasi yung first at saka third, yung first, kailangan natin to for the time element. Okay? Ito pong sa in flagrante delicto arrest, wala kasing time element dyan. Kasi dapat nakita talaga ng police yung commission of the crime. Okay? Actually, may time element naman pala. No, sige, let's, bago tayo lumipat. Nakalagay po dito, he has actually committing, attempting to commit. So that means, pag nag-in flagrante delicto arrest tayo, dapat, before, immediately prior, during, and immediately thereafter. Okay? I need to, dadagdag natin yan. Sige, dadagdag natin yan. He has means immediately thereafter. Example, no? Ang usual talagang example, guys, sa in flagrante delicto arrest is yung posture buyer sa drugs. Oh, may police, nagpapanggap na bibili ng drugs. Okay. Binigay yung sachet doon sa police. Tapos yung police, binigay yung pera doon sa, marked money doon sa pusher. After magkapalitan na, nagkaroon na ng transaction, bigla pupunta na yung team ng police, huhulihin na yung pusher. That is a classic example of in flagrante delicto arrest. Why? Pag inaresto, yung ating pusher, hindi naman actually committing. Hindi rin attempting to commit. The crime was already done. Hindi rin actually committing kasi it was already done. Ang sagot dyan is, he has committed a crime. Immediately thereafter. Diba kaya after magkapalitan ng pera, consummated na yung crime, wala palang stages dito, no? Kasi special penal, no? Tapos na yung crime, no? The crime was already committed, walang consummated. The crime was already committed, papasok yung team, yung police, huhulihin yung tao. Immediately thereafter siya. So anyway, let's be technical about it. Actually committing is during. No? 3, attempting to commit is immediately prior. O, di ba? Kaintindihan tayo. Ayan. Okay, let's move to hot pursuit. Hot pursuit, eto po, kaya nga nagpo-pursuit kaya nga nangahabol tayo in Tagalog. Kasi tapos na yung krimen, no? So when you say just, napaka-important dyan, no? Sa, di ba, sa section 5 letter B, nakalagay dyan yung salita just. When a crime has just been committed, no? Blah blah blah, no? Tandaan nyo, just is also called as the immediacy test. Okay, so what is the immediacy test? There must be a large measure of immediacy between the time the offense was committed and the time of the arrest. No? Ang hirap pa nung large measure of immediacy. Pasimplihin natin. The time of the offense must be immediate to the time of the arrest. Okay? And if there was appreciable lapse of time between the time of the arrest and the time of the commission of the crime, there was no valid hot pursuit arrest. Instead, a warrant of arrest must be secured. Okay? Capitalize natin yun. Naano pa ako sa large measure of immediacy. Para maging simple sa inyo, hindi nyo makakalimutan. The time of the commission of the offense must be immediate to the time of the arrest. Tapos ang usapan natin. Okay? Tapos, the determination of probable cause in the gathering of facts or circumstances should be immediately after the commission of the crime in order to comply with the element of immediacy. So, huwag na natin pahirapan pa. Huwag na to. Pahirap pa yan. Just focus on the first one. No? Kasi nga tayo, ang ginagawa natin sa review, we need to make it as simple as possible for you. You're already reading enough. We just need to condense the topics, the principles that we need to use for the purposes of the bar. Hayaan na natin to. Tama naman. Sige, tira na lang natin. Tama. Madedetermine dapat ng police yung probable cause of the commission of the crime immediately after its commission. Hindi pwedeng, hindi pwedeng appreciable lapse of time. No? Pero delete ko na nga. Okay. Delete. Abol pa. Okay. Let's go to personal knowledge of the facts and circumstances. Ito po yung probable cause, hindi ko siya tinakil. Why? Hindi ko dito nilagay. Because you will determine you will determine the presence of probable cause if the first and the third elements are present. If the police complies with the immediacy test and the police complies with yung personal knowledge of the facts and circumstances surrounding the commission of the crime, no? Magkakaroon ng probable cause dyan. Kasi probable cause is just, in this case, no, kasi marami pong definitions ng probable cause. May probable cause si fiscal, may probable cause si judge, whether warrant of arrest or search warrant. May probable cause din sa arresting officer. May probable cause din sa extensive search of a moving vehicle. Maraming probable cause. For hot pursuit arrest, simple lang. Probable cause means actual belief or reasonable grounds of suspicion. In other words, there was reasonable suspicion on your part that this person committed the crime. How can there be reasonable suspicion if the immediacy test was complied and the police officer had personal knowledge? Okay? What does personal knowledge in this case? What does personal knowledge of the facts and circumstances mean in this case? No? Ayan. Law enforcers, tandaan nyo to need not personally witness the commission of the crime. Why? If the law enforcer personally witnessed the commission of the crime, hindi na po hot pursuit arrest yan. In flagrante delicto arrest yun. Di ba? O sabihin natin, attorney, nakita talaga ni police yung nangyaring krimen. Can there be hot pursuit? Pwede naman. Pwede naman. No? Kasi sabihin natin, nahuli snatcher. O, snatcher nakatakbo. Nakapagtago, after 1 hour, naghahanap pa rin sila. We can say that that was hot pursuit. What I'm trying to say is, hindi pala, wag pala natin sabihin, hindi dapat nakita ng law enforcer personally yung mali-mali, no? Ino-note ko na lang dito, no? Note, five, note, hot pursuit arrest, no, can happen. In other words, sabihin ko na lang, hot pursuit arrest can happen after the police officer personally witnessed the commission of the crime. It can also happen after he did not, even if he did not personally witness the commission of the crime, so long as he has personal knowledge of the facts and circumstances indicating that the person to be arrested has committed it. Okay, so in other words, no, pwedeng nakita niya personally, pwedeng hindi. Kasi sabihin natin, nakita niya ng snatchan. In-snatch nung lalaki yung kwintas ng babae. Tapos, di ba nakalagay, sabi ko dyan sa ano, immediately thereafter, o after ng mga nakatakbo na, huli ng pulis, in flagrante delicto arrest yun. Pero pag nagkaroon ng konting time gap, hindi natin pwede sabihin in flagrante delicto arrest yun, like 1 hour. Nagtutugisan sila, nag-iikot. Nag-iikot sila sa streets of Quiapo. O, di ba? Parang batang Quiapo. No? Nag-iikotan sila doon. After 1 hour, we cannot say that is still in flagrante delicto arrest. Kasi hindi na siya immediately thereafter. Di ba? Kasi sabi nga doon sa in flagrante delicto arrest, dapat has committed, actually committing, attempting to commit. Ang context niyan is dapat, ano ba to? Right then and there. Yun. No? Right then and there, nahuli na yung tao. Actually, let's not, ano, baka kasi sabihin niyo pag sinabi ko, baka malito kaya pag nilike immediately thereafter, kahit 1 hour later, ano pa rin, ano tawag dito? In flagrante delicto arrest pa rin, no? Gawin na lang natin ganito. Simple na lang. Remember, there must be no, uh, ano tawag dito, the arrest must be, ano ba? Simultaneous ba tawag doon? Wait. The arrest must happen at the same time or almost at the same time as the time from the time when the police officer. O yan, nilinis natin. Sa in flagrante delicto arrest, ganito po yung time element, no? The arrest must happen at the same time or almost at the same time as the commission of the crime. So dapat walang time gap. Walang time gap. Sa hot pursuit arrest, pwedeng magkaroon ng time gap so long as the immediacy test was complied with. Okay, gawa ko kayo na example, no? Sabihin natin nga, tinugis, no? So, ah, nakita ng snatch, nakatakas, after 1 hour nahuli yung snatcher. Pwede ba sabihin hot pursuit yun? Okay? May isa pang bar question, I forgot the year. Ang nangyari sa bar question na yun, may dalawang police teams. Yung isang police team, sila yung nakakita ng palitan ng pera. Sila yung nakakita ng pagkuha ng kidnappers ng ransom money. Group 1 yan, na police. Tapos, sumakay sa kotse yung mga kidnappers, nag-drive sila, parang dumaan sila sa parang isang mall, sa parang yung daanan sa mall. Tapos, na-block ng group 2 yung kotse na to, yung nung kidnappers, nahuli yung kidnappers. Okay? Ano tawag dyan? Hot pursuit arrest yun. Hindi mo pwede sabihin flagrante delicto arrest. Di ba? Kasi nakuha na yung pera eh, tumakas na eh. Di ba? We cannot say na, ano, no? We cannot say na continuing crime kasi di ka naman sinabi na andun yung kidnap victim do sa, ano, sa loob ng kotse. Ang scenario niyan, malamang sa malamang context niyan, nakalagay na sa hideout yung kidnap victim, tapos bago magkaroon ng exchange ng tao, binigay mo ni ransom money dun sa wherever, dun sa lugar na yun. Diba? So, kinuha yung pera, tumakbo, yung kidnappers, nahuli ng group 2 sa isang, parang sa ilalim ng mall, oh, that is hot pursuit arrest. Hindi mo pwede sabihin flagrante delicto kasi nakatakas na eh. You pursued it, the vehicle used by the kidnappers. You pursued them. So hot pursuit siya. That's another example. Why? Immediacy test. Immediacy test, was it complied with? Yes. Kasi the time of the offense, the time of the arrest was immediate to the time of the commission of the crime. Baliktad. Ito pala i-add ko rito, no? Case law dictates that a lapse of 24 hours does not comply with the immediacy test. Okay. So 24 hours, tandaan niyo yan, ha? So di na ilagay dito. So for immediacy test, no, nakalagay po sa kaso. Again, case to case basis po ito. No, pero sa kaso may nakalagay po diyan, isang kaso after 1 day, after 24 hours, hindi pa nahuli yung kriminal, ayan, kailangan na nating mag-secure ng warrant of arrest or search warrant, basta warrant as the case may be. Okay? 24 hours yan, hot pursuit arrest. Sa name of the case. Anyway. So, basta ano yan, yung sa possible, no, possible bar question, kasi si Justice Lopez, merong tanong na mga about hot pursuit, no? So, anyway, hindi naman nga kailangan anuhin. I don't even have to say to you na merong chair's case regarding this topic. Kasi nga every year tinatanong din naman. Tinanong din yan ng taong ko. No, yung mga hot pursuit na yan. So actually, hindi ko na kailangan sabihin sa inyo na may chair's case regarding this topic. No. You have to read this either way, may chair's case man o wala. Kasi lalabas yan either way. Kasi tandaan nyo sa bar, hindi naman automatic na pag walang chair's case regarding this topic, hindi na magtatanong dyan. Magtatanong pa din. No, lalo na pag tinignan nyo yung mga older bar questions, napaka, ano ba, there's a question in taxation. Differentiate calendar year and fiscal year. Di ba? You wouldn't think na hango pa yung kinuha pa yung sa chair's case. It's just that gusto yun ng bar chair. May tanong, di ba? So, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na hindi porket wala sa chair's case, automatic, nandun na sa, o wala na sa bar exam. Di ba? So, pag talaga ganitong hot pursuit at saka in flagrante delicto, expectation yung once or twice kayo matatanong dyan, pwedeng once sa political law, once sa remedial, or isa sa, or twice, pero isang bar exam. Hindi kita tatanungin sa poly, dalawa sa akin. Something like that, no? So you get the point. Okay, tama ba ako sa 24 hours? Okay. I'm not sure kung generoso case. Basta 24 hours yung Estilos versus generoso. Let me check that. I need to, hindi ko nakalimutan ko yung pangalan ng case. 24. Okay, wala talaga. So 24 hours. Ayos yan. Okay, so what does personal knowledge of the facts and circumstances of the person to be arrested has committed it? What does this mean? Di ba ulitin ko, it does not need na the police officer personally saw the commission of the crime. No? Pero syempre, the better kung nakita niya talaga. Kasi wala na talagang mas personal knowledge pa doon. Okay, so what does this mean? No? Personal knowledge of the facts and circumstances means, no, that there must be these circumstances, no, personal knowledge of the facts and circumstances. What does circumstances mean? Okay, the term circumstances, the word circumstances may pertain to events or actions within the actual perception, personal evaluation, or observation of the police officer at the scene of the crime. Tandaan nyo, kapag hot pursuit arrest, normally merong scene of the crime. So ano na-discover na scene of the crime? Yung yung body, nung pinatay. Oh, that's one circumstance that will help the police officer to have personal knowledge. What's another circumstance? Merong eyewitness. Sir, police, nakita ko po, ito itsura ng pumatay, so on and so forth. Something like that. Yan po yung mga kaya nga nakalagay niya circumstances, no? Ano siya, normally, kung hindi niya talaga nakita personally yung commission of the crime, magkakaroon ng personal knowledge yung police officer based sa ano tawag diyan, accumulated information that he obtained at the scene of the crime. Whether doon sa mismong scene, pwedeng may DNA, wala masyado palang work weird yung DNA. Pwedeng may naiwan na bag, no? May naiwan na picturean sa cellphone nung bago mamatay, napicturean sa cellphone nung pinatay yung killer niya, something like that, no? So, or pwedeng may eyewitness, sabi, nakikimakites daw sa scene of the crime, kilala ko po kung sino pumatay, nakasilip ako kahapon dyan sa pangyayari na yan. These are circumstances, no? So, no, dito. Thus, even though the police officer has not seen someone actually fleeing, he could still make a warrantless arrest if based on his personal evaluation of the circumstances of the scene of the crime, against scene of the crime, he could determine the existence of probable cause of the person to be arrested has committed the crime. Tandaan niyo, pag probable cause, reasonable grounds of suspicion lang. Meron ba tayong tamang pagsuspecha na itong tao na to ang nagnakaw, ang pumatay, and so on. Yun lang yun, no? So, ialay ko lang dito. So, to simplify na lang. We have to use uh, our uh, our analytical skills to determine if the police officer had personal knowledge. You have to analyze. You have to analyze the bar exam question carefully to determine if the police officer had personal knowledge. We need to check, assess the circumstances yan provided in the question. So, di ba nakalagay personal knowledge of the facts and circumstances? What are the circumstances? Yun ang titignan nyo sa bar exam question. Tingnan nyo siya. O sige, naku, nasabi ko sa bar question. Uh, nung nagpunta yung police doon sa scene of the crime, naghihingalo pa lang yung naghihingalo pa lang yung mamamatay na. Yung lalaki na pinatay o babae na pinatay, naghihingalo pa lang siya. Sinabi niya sa police, eto po yung pumatay sa akin, ito yung description and so on and so forth. Nagkaroon ba ng personal knowledge yung police? The answer is yes. Di ba? Kasi nga, probable cause lang ang kailangan mo. Dapat may personal knowledge ka of the facts and circumstances at the scene of the crime. How can you have in this case? Sinabi nung mamamatay na. Actually, dahil declaration nga yan, di ba? Anyway, doon muna tayo tinan nyo two-part question, pwede kayong tanongin. Pwede tanong sa inyo, A, was there a valid that pursuit arrest? Letter B, was this a valid dying declaration or is this admissible in evidence? Di ba kasi hearsay yan eh. Pero dying declaration siya also admissible hearsay evidence. Anyway, di ba pwedeng two-part question, dalawang sub-question sa isang facts. So doon, paano ka nagkaroon ng personal knowledge? Sinabi nung mamamatay na tao. Nagkaroon ka ba ng probable cause to arrest that person? Yes. Kasi now, dahil sinabi ng tao, you have reasonable grounds to suspect that this person actually killed him. Tandaan nyo, suspecha lang naman. Hindi naman natin sinabing, ikaw talaga nakakita. Kasi po, ikaw nakakita, police, ikaw talaga eyewitness dyan. Pwede ka pong testify later on in court. Siya ang nakita kong pumatay. O di tapos ang usapan natin, ikaw na star witness, ikaw parang huli. Di ba? Law enforcement that did not personally witness. Okay. In other words, okay, hot pursuit arrest can happen. Okay. Pwede na yan. Okay. Waiver of illegal warrantless arrest. No? Waiver of the illegality of the warrantless arrest does not include the waiver of the illegality of the search. Okay, so that means even if kasi how will we raise the issue of validity of the arrest or the invalidity of the arrest? You raise it in a motion to quash. And when do you file a motion to quash? At any time before your arraignment as the accused. Once you're arraigned, no, and you already pleaded not guilty, malamang not guilty, sasabihin natin, hindi mo na pwedeng erase yung invalidity ng arrest or supposed illegality of the arrest. Waived na siya. However, during trial, you can still raise the invalidity of the search. How? We say that, objection, Your Honor, this document, this piece of evidence is inadmissible because it violates Section 2, Article 3 of the Constitution because there was an invalid warrantless search, something like that. Ganun po, no? So you allege it, ang context po nito, inadmissibility. When you say illegality, it does not include a waiver of the illegality of the search. Ang context po nito is your objection to the admissibility of the evidence. Okay, yun po yun. Okay, so exclusionary rule or fruit of poisonous tree. Okay. Evidence obtained in violation of this in the preceding section shall be admissible for any purpose in any proceeding. Okay, so yun lang yun. Actually, magkaiba nga po yan. Pero sa iba po kasing mga kaso, they are used interchangeably yung salitang exclusionary rule at saka yung doctrine of the fruit of poisonous tree. Pero ang technical meaning po talaga dyan, pag sinabi mong exclusionary rule, we're talking about the main evidence. No? It also covers testimonial evidence. No? Documentary object covered po lahat. Pero lahat mo naging produkto ng main evidence na to, inadmissible din kasi fruit of the poisonous tree. Bibigyan ko kayo ng example. Hindi ko na nilagay dito kasi gugulo pa. Sabihin natin, pinalo, sinapak sa muka yung tao. Sinapak niya. Inaamin mo ba? Eh, dokumentary din pala to. No? Inaamin mo ba na ikaw ang pumatay doon sa babae? Ikaw ang nang-rape doon sa babae, sinasapok siya. Opo, sabi nung guy, no? Sabi nung guy. Is that admissible o inadmissible? Inadmissible yan kasi nga violated yung rights ng tao during custodial investigation. Sinapok eh. Sinaktan, di ba? Ngayon, tinanong ng polis, yung damit nung ni-rape mo, yung ginamit ng kutsilyo para patayin siya, sa mo tinago? Sir, tinago ko po sa likod ng bahay namin. Pumunta sa likod ng bahay yung pulis, nakita yung damit at saka yung kutsilyo. Ito bang kutsilyo sa yung damit, admissible o inadmissible? Inadmissible din kasi fruit of the poisonous tree. The main evidence, di ba, yung exclusionary rule mag-a-apply dun sa kinuhang confession dun sa tao. And then yung fruit of poisonous tree, kung gagamitin po natin to, dun sa mga naging produkto, proceeds, nung initial na pag-torture, pagsakit, pananakit mo sa tao, sa lalaki. Yung una, exclusionary rule ang gagamitin natin, kaya inadmissible siya, and then yung mga nakuhang evidence, yung damit, yung kutsilyo, fruit of the poisonous tree siya. Pero again, I don't want to overcomplicate it. Use it, kayo na bahala kung ano gusto nyo i-quote. Kasi nga po, sa mga cases, sometimes they are used interchangeably. Okay? Okay, so effects of unreasonable searches and seizures. Ayan, okay. Pakibasa na lang. Okay, sige. Privacy of communication and correspondence, no? So, same thing. Okay, so next video natin, freedom of speech na tayo.